Have you worn out your welcome? Have you worn out your welcome? What's happening, family? It's 6:30. Time to get a little shopper. What's happening with you? Welcome to the Anti-Negativity Network. We're here again. It's another Thursday. My wife is here with me, so we're here to make it do what it do.
How you doing?
Hey, let us know if you can hear us clearly. Hopefully you can. We're trying this microphone thing one more time. And so hopefully we won't have it static like we did last week. But hey, you know what? Something is telling me just to go ahead and unplug this anyway. I think I'm going to unplug it. And we're just going to go all natural. So go ahead and unplug it. Let's just make
Okay.
sure. Just make sure. Okay. We're going to do it this way. Give us a thumbs up or something. But anyway, let's just do it this way. Make sure we're going to have to make sure we project out so they can hear us. But another Thursday. We're here to make it do what it do. So on the count of three, let's do what we always do. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. All right. So hopefully you're having a good week. Hopefully everything is going well with you. Hopefully you can hear us clearly as well. I decided to go ahead and take the microphones off because I know last week we had a little static with it. And I tested it out earlier. It sounded like everything was fine, but I just want to err on the side of caution this week and just go ahead and we'll forego the microphone. So hopefully you can hear us and see us and all of that. And let's just go ahead and get into what it is we want to talk about this week. And so we're still rolling in Genesis. So we're just continuing on down the road in Genesis. This week we're going to jump into chapter 13. And chapter 13, here we got Abram and Lot. And I'm gonna kind of talk about, you're going to get a twofold thing today. I'm going to talk about 13 because to me, 13, I got hyped off of 13. And Deb got hyped off of 14. So good. Thanks, Rick. Glad you can hear. I wanted to try the microphones, but I wasn't sure. But anyway, just err on the side of caution. So she's going to talk about 14. I'm going to talk about 13. Hopefully, we're going to see. Because we might not get out of 13. I don't know. We're going to see. Y'all know I get hyped. I get extra hyped and stuff. And so, but anyway, let's just do this. So in chapter 13, here we have Abram and Lot. Okay. Lot is Abram's nephew because Lot's father actually died a couple chapters ago. But so Lot actually lost his father, and that time was at an early age. Okay. And so, as a result, Abram went on and took Lot in and pretty much took care of him, right? And helped him grow and learn. And so here we have in chapter 13, where now Abram is doing his thing and he's amassed a lot of stuff and, he's grown, okay? And evidently Lot learning from Abram, he done did the same thing. He's learning, he's growing, he's amassed a lot of things. Now we done got to a point where I'm gonna date myself a couple times today. This first one I'm gonna date myself right here. I'm a big Bugs Bunny fan. Okay, that was my favorite cartoon, Bugs Bunny. And there was one particular scene with Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam. Yeah, y'all know Yosemite. Come on, stop playing. If you don't know, Google them. All right, Bugs Bunny and Yosemite. That was good cartoons back then. But anyway, there was one particular scene where Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam, they always butted heads. Yosemite Sam said, "This town ain't big enough for the both of us," right? So I got reading this that made me think about Bugs and Yosemite. And having a situation right here where Abram and Lot is saying, Abram really just got to the point, look, this ain't we got so much stuff. We have grown so much that it's just not enough space for both of us. Now we got our herdsmen, they at each other, they beefing with each other, they got issues with each other, there's a whole lot of arguing and fussing, and it's just contention, and it's just not working, okay? And so, and I'm going to date myself one more time. So back in the day, you remember when everybody used to say, you dissing me, right? You remember that? Why you dissing me? Okay. Some of y'all know it, some of y'all might. Okay, but anyway, I'll explain later. Google it. But anyway, back in the day, you said, why you dissing me? And what that made me think was, in this situation right here between Abram and Lot, let's kind of refer back to what maybe some of us in our own lives, right? Where, here you go. Here you go. This is, a lot of y'all grew up at home with your parents, and at some point you got to an age where you felt like, I need to go get my own place. I need to get up out of here, right? Because this ain't working. My parents want me to do X, Y, Z, and I ain't feeling X, Y, Z no more. And I'm old enough to do my own thing, so I think it's time I move out, right? Or, just, you can fill in the blank. That's just one example. Heck, you can say on your job or relationships or whatever. This is what I asked the question. Have you worn out your welcome? And right here we have a situation where it sounds like the welcome has been worn out between Abram and Lot. And it's just not working. And when I talk about dissing me, why are you dissing? Why are you dissing me? That's because I thought about these two words, honor. Okay? And when you put dis in front of it, what that turn into? Dishonor. When you got respect. So at first there was respect. Now we get to a point where you put the dis in front of it. Now you disrespecting, right? So made me think about those. So for a while it was working between Abram and Lot. But now it's beginning to get a little contentious. It's getting a little edgy now. So Abram says, look, man, we ain't trying to change the honor to dishonor or the respect to disrespect. I tell you what, I'm going to let you decide which direction you want to go. And I'm going to go the opposite way. You go do your thing and I'm going to go do my thing because this is not working anymore. We got to go our separate ways. So Abram, to me, took the high road and gave some leadership and said, hey, you make the choice. Whatever direction you go, I'm going to go the other way so that you can go do your thing and I can go do my thing. And that's exactly what happened. So Lot decided the direction he was going to go. Abram decided to go the direction he was going to go. Now, the last couple points I'm going to make before I move on and give it up to my wife for chapter 14. This right here. 2 points I'm going to make. The first one is about Lot. And if you read chapter 13, it talks about Lot deciding to go into a direction that put him near the land of Sodom. Now, if anybody know anything about the Bible, heard anything, or been in anybody's church, you have heard about Sodom and Gomorrah. All right? Sodom and Gomorrah. That's nothing new, okay? And she's going to touch a little bit more on that in chapter 14. But in chapter 13, Sodom, that's where he decided to go. And if you read, let me see, 13, and in the final verse, it talked about, but about the people. After he went to, what's that final verse? After he went to Sodom.
But the people of this area were extremely wicked and constantly sinned against the Lord.
So we have a situation where Lot done put himself in a bad spot. He decided to set up tent and go to a place that really was no good for him. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in 14, but go ahead, babe.
No, yeah, what was interesting about that, when he looked at the land, it was, well watered, and green, etc. So
it looked good.
It looked good, but we all know that things that look good
ain't always good.
Ain't always good. And so we're making a decision about what you're going to do next. You got to go deeper than the surface view of it.
I'm going to go to my next point because she just gave you my point I was about to make.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it.
Go ahead.
No, that's my wife. See, we linked up big time because that's exactly what I was going to say. You just got to be careful. Do your homework before you decide to go. Because what always may look like it's greener on the other side ain't always greener on the other side. And so Lot had it good with Abram, but they started beefing a little bit. Their clan started beefing. So they had to go their separate ways. And he ended up going and landing near Sodom. And as we know, that wasn't a place for him to be, because now he's hanging around with wicked. And so now you better be careful of the company you keep, because you just might end up just like them. Now, on the other side, Abram says, all right, I'm going to go the other direction. And I want you to read, if you don't mind reading, what happened. What did God say to Abram after he finally left and split away from Lot, moved on to where he was going? What did he say?
Look as far as you can see in every direction, north and south, east and west. I am giving all this land as far as you can see to you and your descendants as a permanent possession.
So here it is. Abram splits from Lot. Lot goes his way, gets himself in a position, in a place where he really don't need to be. And Abram goes in a place where now he can hear, he can see. And now he's being blessed by God. And God is telling him, as far as you can see, I'm going to give this to you. You and your descendants. It's not just for you, Abram, but your folk, your family, your kinfolk, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, all of them. I'm going to hook them up. I got them. All because you did what you were supposed to do. And he got away from the noise. Y'all heard me talk about the noise before. He got away from the noise so that he could hear from God. God was trying to bless him. But sometimes we can keep ourselves in a position too long that we begin to not be able to see and hear what God really wants for us to see and hear. And now that he got away, he was able to hear from God. And then the last point I'm going to make, and I'm passing it on. It's going to be my last point. In the last verse or two, it said, matter of fact, it was the last verse. He said he built an altar. He built another altar, which meant he built an altar so he could give God praise. And here's the thing. He gave God praise before he even got the blessing. He gave God praise just for the promise. See, sometimes we waiting to pray. And we done heard that before. Don't shout till the battle is over, shout now. Don't wait till the battle is over, shout now. No, you better praise God now for what he's going to do. Because if you don't praise him now, why we got to wait for him to give it to us? For he's worthy of it now. And if you give him the praise and the honor now, he's going to bless you. But he can bless you even more when you showing him that I appreciate the fact that you even talking to me and blessing me and saying what you're going to do. He gave him thanks beforehand. So let's just make sure we give thanks before he even gives us the blessing. He's already done blessed us. So that's enough to give him thanks already for what he's already done. Matter of fact, you on here living, you're breathing, you're able to move, you're able to listen, you're able to talk, you're able to eat, you're able to get up, and you got enough right now to give him thanks for what he's already done. And then when he makes a promise to you and he reveals some things to you, don't forget him. Give him thanks right then and there, right?
Yes.
So, 14, I'm going to back off and I'm going to pass the mic on over to Dr. Deborah.
I'm going to be very quick.
Dr. Deborah.
So as Ron said, Abram went his direction and Lot went his direction. And in that area or the regions where Lot was, there were different kings of the region. And they all broke out in a war. Yeah. So they were fighting against each other with a lot of kings. I'm not even going to try to mention their names, but it was a lot of kings fighting against each other. So eventually, five kings rebelled, and two of the kings were from the territory of Sodom and Gomorrah. And I didn't realize that Sodom and Gomorrah were two separate regions.
Let's be real. How many of y'all thought Sodom and Gomorrah was just one place? She says she won't go say it. I told her say it because I promise you, she is not by herself. I'm for one. Until I read this right here, until we both read it, we both thought Sodom and Gomorrah was just one place. That was actually two different places, two different lands. Go ahead.
And so they were defeated. And with that, the kings took Lot.
Yeah.
And took all the spoils of war and the food and supplies. So they captured Lot and took him away.
Yep.
But one of Lot's people or friends came back to tell Abram that
they was able to get away. They snuck. They was able to get away.
His nephew was captured.
Yeah.
And so Abraham mobilized 318. Abram, excuse me. Thank you. Mobilized 318 trained men who had been born into his household. And when I heard that, I thought about the Gideon 300. Our First Lady just preached on that this past Sunday, stating that you don't need everybody to fight your battles.
No, you don't.
Some battles are not for everybody. They may know how to fight, and I'm paraphrasing what she said. They may know how to fight, but they may not be the right ones to fight the battle that you need won.
That's right. Hear that. Listen to that. Hear that. Hear that. It ain't always about the number. It's not always about the number of folk, but it's about the quality of folk. The right quality of folk right here is how he was able to handle his business. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, and we tend oftentimes to get everybody to jump on our bandwagon and side with us, and agree with us.
What up, Stroger?
And then, so that we can go and fight this battle. We got everybody on our side, but you don't need that.
No.
Sometimes,
less is more.
Yeah, sometimes
less is more. Y'all done heard that. Y'all done seen it. A lot of y'all have experienced that. Sometimes less is more. And we're trying to add on, and we need all these folk. We need all this stuff. We need all, and a lot of times that stuff will weigh you down and get in the way of the progress that needs to be made. And so sometimes less is more. And this is an example right here. Come on, man.
And so Lot went and defeated those kings, and he brought his nephew back. Yeah. And he brought the women and captives and the spoils back.
Yep.
So on his way back, he ran into Melchizedek, who was a king as well. And he also was a high priest. And he said, "Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and blessed be God Most High, who has defeated your enemies for you." So he is blessing Abram. And as a result, Abram, who's not Abraham yet, gave Melchizedek a tenth of all his goods he had recovered. And so this is kind of like the first time we really see where the tenth of like tithing, etc., is instrumented here in this chapter. And in the future, you'll see how Israel continued this practice on by giving the priests a tenth of their offerings as well.
And I want to just say something, but about the tithing thing. You hear so much out here today about tithing, whether you should or whether you shouldn't. Okay, we're not going to even touch that. But I am going to go to one of my favorite scriptures in James chapter 4, the very last scripture in James chapter 4. If you know what to do and you don't do, it's a sin. So that's really between you and God. But to say that tithing is not in the Bible, don't listen to that foolishness. It does talk about a tenth right here. And the first account of tithing was a man giving another man a tenth of what he received. It's right here in Genesis. So it is in the Bible. Go ahead.
Okay. And so then Melchizedek said to Abram, "You can keep everything, but just give me the people." And Abram replied to the king, saying, "I solemnly swear to the Lord, God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, that I will not take so much as a single thread or sandal thong from what belongs to you. Otherwise, you may say, I am the one who made Abram rich." I thought that was fantastic because I'm not sure what his point was, but I do know that God makes us rich. He blesses others to bless us.
Yes.
And God gets all the glory for the things that come into our life and the things that we acquire and accomplish. He gets all the glory. And that's it.
I would even say this, because she was hyped about 14. I was hyped about 13, but now I got hyped about 14. Look here now. I got to close. I'm going to close out this right here. But look, when she just thought, what I got from that as well, is the fact that he recognized that had he had taken that stuff from that king, was the king, the priest and king, that he was going to take credit for it. So what we learned from that is that not everybody wants to be a blessing to you. Genuinely. Some folk want to be a blessing so they can say, you got that because of me. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have that. And he saw that. That's the reason why he said, no, I'm not going to take it, bro. You can have it. The only thing we're going to take is what we already got. Okay, what we already used. But look, the God that I serve already got me, number one. And quite honestly, I came here with plenty, and I'm going to leave here with plenty. So I'm already good. I don't need your stuff. So be careful the stuff you accept from folk, because some of those folk really don't mean you any good. They trying to grandstand themselves. I don't know if that's the right word, but it sounds right. Great. It sounds good. So be careful, because not everything that people are trying to give you, they really mean to give you. They giving it to you because it's all about themselves. So really be careful. You seek him first. Seek him first and his kingdom, and all these things will be added to you. So you just make sure you get connected with him. That's why I always tell you, make sure he's part of the equation, okay? I know you ain't dotting every I, crossing every T. None of us are. That's why his grace and mercy is why we here. But because of his grace and mercy, we have an opportunity to connect with him and make sure in every way possible that we are getting what he wants for us. So seek him first so that you can make sure you're getting what you're supposed to get, so that nobody else can take the credit. He gets all the glory. And guess what? You keep getting blessed because you thankful for what he's already done for you. We out of here. I get excited. Y'all know I love this. Look. Pray, plan, prepare, proceed. Make it do what it do. She finally got it right. Yes. We'll see y'all later next week at 6:30. Love you.